To explain who Christian is, right? So he's friends with Peter Thiel. He's very close with Peter Thiel. They invest a lot together. And he runs a family office, which is just a term for when you have a pool of your own money. But he was really early in psychedelics as a therapeutic cure. So
this is very Euro finance guy.
So he's trying to medicalize, he's trying to make medical grade like magic mushrooms. He's very obviously into crypto, massively into crypto. And he has this penthouse in London, actually. He has like the top floor of this big building. I may have been there. And he has all these like ancient relics and antiquities, like Greek statues and stuff. But he has a story for each one about how it's related to psychedelia. You know, like this is a statue of Hester or whatever. You know,
to be 100% honest, this sounds like one of the most annoying people I could ever hope to meet in my life.
He's like, very charming.
He's like the guy that Johnny Depp is working for in The Ninth Gate. Like, that's the energy. I want you to get me a book written by the devil himself.
Yeah. It does seem as though like to be a Euro finance guy in this way, you really you have to be kind of weird enough that people remember you.
Yeah.
But that you don't really need to like or you need to be good at the business of kind of just greasing society.
Yeah. I think like that's the thing. It's like you need to be interesting and memorable. But Christian, it just goes on and on. Like he's really tight with Paul Kagame of Rwanda, and he called Rwanda the real life Wakanda, from Black Panther.
That should be the tourism slogan.
It's on the Arsenal
an Austrian who collects ancient artifacts and will talk to you about psychedelia.
That's an Indiana Jones villain.
Quote, Rwanda is the real life Wakanda.
Once again, Dr. Jones, we see that there's nothing you can possess.
I think so. Angermeyer is German, but I think he has some Austrian family. But he hangs out with a lot of Austrians. But yeah, very tight with Thiel and
he's not Austrian, but he can hang.
Angermeyer and Peter Thiel at the moment are trying to create this thing called the Enhanced Games. You might have heard that.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
So Angermeyer is involved in that. And you know, Angermeyer said like he's talked up his credentials in this kind of psychedelia as a medicine space.
A guy called Angermeyer who's like more people should be on steroids.
What I particularly enjoyed was an old statement of Angermeyer's where he was meeting with a nonprofit. He has a nonprofit, MAPS, which is about this study of psych. You know,
named after the Yeah song, of course.
Yeah. Not named after the group, the online group.
Where basically is trying, again, going for a laudable goal to legalize the therapeutic use of scheduled drugs. However, he says he has a plan that he funded with $250,000 to, and I quote, bring Israelis and Palestinians together to take ayahuasca.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
A true and lasting peace.
Fuck yeah, brother.
I have a number of questions.
Uh-huh.
My first one is, on knowledge and belief, ayahuasca is not that expensive.
Well, I don't know. You need to get a shaman?
Yeah, shamans ain't cheap.
Yeah. Is there some shaman living?
As it's become, like a trendy thing to do. Like the going rate for a shaman has gone up.
For sure.
Bibi Netanyahu just like chunning and crying in the corner as like the sober Qatari trip guide tries to like bring him back.
It would be a Qatari too.
Yeah.
So before we move on from Angermeyer, like one of my favorite things he tried to do but didn't manage to was he launched thing. I think it was called the Jurassic Fund, and he tried to launch a fund to invest in dinosaur skeletons. And he basically said like these are like the next hot asset class.
God's not making any more of them.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like Bitcoin. There's a limited, or gold. There's a limited supply.
People will always need dinosaur skeletons.
Yeah, you just have to mine for them. It's perfect. Like,
yeah. And if it doesn't work out, make them into crude oil.
But yeah, that was a bridge too far, even for like Angermeyer's charm. I don't think he was able to get investors in on that one.
Well, if you want to talk about someone who might own or sell a bridge, let's talk Benko.
Yeah.
Now, this guy is the Austrian.
Yes, he is Austrian and wears like lederhosen in like the Tyrol and like
So he recently, his property empire has recently gone completely bankrupt. But it went bankrupt. We alluded to at the beginning that it owned a bunch of quite famous buildings.
Yeah.
And it did so through, wouldn't you know it,
Big Bank,
an incredibly complicated set of ownership structures, which it doesn't really. I don't think it's worth breaking down how they worked here, other than just how they're designed to obscure things.
I was going to say, how it actually works doesn't matter. It's just was supposed to be impenetrable, and I've used that word twice today.
Well, I guess it didn't. I guess it didn't.
It's pretty penetrable.
No, it didn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rennie Benko has an existing criminal conviction, I think in 2013 or something like that, essentially for bribery. So he raised a bunch of money from the people we described, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, the Peugeot family, like having already had a criminal conviction. You know, same deal with Lars Windhorst as well, where he had that criminal conviction in 2010. So like, even that is not a barrier to these people raising money from people. You know, you think that'd be the most obvious of red flags in your due diligence check.
I mean, again, maybe
having been banked up abroad.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we know Americans also were many wealthy Americans were happy to invest with a financier who had a criminal conviction in 2008, 9.
Yeah, for various financial services.
Well, he had the smart idea of engaging in an activity which he knew a lot of rich people would engage in, you know, like show jumping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like croquet, you know, you find a lot of rich people doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was interesting about Benko,
I'm going to make it like baseball.
The other MLP,
Talk about the minor leagues.
There was another couple of facts about Benko I think it's worth sharing, which is that most of the people who were on the payroll of his property empire were like party planners, huntsmen, private jetsmen.
Hold on. Back up a fucking second.
It's like we're in the Witcher universe. Like what?
Well, Austria kind of is the Witcher universe. Like if he's fully in on the lederhosen pill, then that's like reasonable, right?
Again, because what he does is he wants to give you the razzle dazzle. Like that's what these guys all do. And so he's
the
like,
Austrian razzle dazzle. It used to be a lot more impressive in the 19th century. Now it's just like, please meet my like loyal retainers of huntsmen, like lederhosen polishers, yodelers.
A bunch of FSB guys for some reason.
Yeah, we've got Jan Marsalek, Mozart, Hitler, Fritzl. Great guys.
So, Austrian soft power 19th century. Do you want to hear some banging marches and see the most beautiful fat woman you've ever seen? Austrian soft power 21st century. Do you want to like hunt some game?
And live in a basement?
Yeah.
So he employs all these guys because he wants to, again, project this like fun aristocratic air. And you know, what's he doing with these like huntsmen and private planes and hotels and yachts and stuff?
Yeah, what's the level of danger of this game?
Well, he's entertaining like Sebastian Kurz, basically, like a lot of guys on the right of Austrian politics.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you mentioned like Austrian politics.
The right of Austrian politics?
Like, quiz question, do you know where Sebastian Kurz went to work after he'd left politics? I say left, I mean left.
The Chrysler building?
He went to work for Thiel Capital, Peter Thiel's.
Yeah. These guys are all pals together.
They're all friends. Friends.
So he basically like has all this stuff to appeal to these people and then appeal to the people who want to trust a like aristocratic type of German guy with their money.
Why is it always I know the answer to this, but rhetorically, why is it always the right wing of politics? Why is there no like expansive international left wing kind of graft situation? Where's my kind of
you want to be taken on like you want to be
taken wined? I want to be dined. Where are the union fat cats who are like going to offer me this stuff?
Well, we need some kind of like louche go-between that's like I'll introduce you.
100%. I want to be the louche left-wing international go-between. Like if that job's going, like if George Soros is out there listening, like please.
Benko also, as you say, has lots of help from Austria's political elite. You also write.
Benko, I should say that's my colleague Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Yeah.
Your colleague Sam Jones writes, Benko also had a personal relationship with Thomas Schmid, head of the OBAG at the time at the Post-Sparkasse Deal. So the Post-Sparkasse Deal is a building. Schmid was a former top civil servant at the Ministry of Finance and one of Kurtz's most important lieutenants in government. In both roles, he had been involved with the plans. 2 years before the lease was signed, Benko offered him a €600,000 annual pay package to become a general representative for Cigna, the company, according to leaked text messages obtained by prosecutors. Benko responded by insisting the offer was never serious.
Your Honor, it was a bit. It was a joke.
I was doing the jack-off motion when I offered him the money.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you worth? 600,000? This is Scott Benton level. I'm like, the hotel was loud. Oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that. What do you mean? Oh, I was going to leak the report after it was published.
Have you never heard of yakking off?